Hi Kules, welcome back to the second half of Barcelona versus Bayern Munich. I know you guys asked for longer videos, but this video is just what was different from the first half, that the managers actually changed, right? As always, do subscribe to the channel. It's going to help us a lot to get this family to grow. We upload weekly Barcelona content. So without any further ado, let's get right into the video. At the start of the second half, we saw that Bayern Munich continued their high press, with Guerrero coming onto Alejandro Balde. But there was a slight difference. Instead of Robert Lewandowski dropping onto the ball, which Barcelona would circulate, it was actually Rafinha that would come into the space right here in order to receive the ball. And you saw that Upamecano was tasked with actually dropping, because they wanted to get the ball to Robert Lewandowski, where Rafinha would run ahead of him, because many a times when Robert Lewandowski was the guy that was dropping, he couldn't get back in time to support Rafinha in that run. Bayern Munich targeted Alejandro Balde in particular. I don't know what the reason is specifically, because they many times didn't want to go to Jules Koundé. They were trying to circulate the ball, get Barcelona to all come to one side. But this is what I was saying, that Rafinha could have costed us the game, because he was pressing up a little bit higher. And you actually saw that Thomas Müller was receiving the ball in the area right here, where you saw runs from Guerrero and Olise, and Barcelona was targeted on Alejandro Balde, the left side in particular. In the build-up to Rafinha's game, Barcelona actually punished them severely, as they had no shape, as they got overconfident in the fact that they were putting us under pressure. And I think this is what Flick was talking about. I want to highlight something. Upamecano actually had a howler. You know, 2 times he was out of position the first goal, and then now you can see he's actually just struggling. For a second there in the second half, when the press was applied, you saw that Lamine Yamal was coming into the midfield, drawing Alphonso Davies away. So when the ball was circulated, Firmino was actually receiving the ball, and should he be followed, Lamine can now run into that space right there. The introduction of Frenkie de Jong gave Barcelona the essence in the build-up phase that we needed, because now you had another player who's press resistant and who can also share the responsibility in getting into these areas. Remember, in the Sevilla video, I made also a suggestion, or I also made a prediction that we may now start to see a midfielder on the left wing who's going to share with Rafinha. And Pedri could play a little bit higher up, but especially in the build-up phase, you know, you saw that Pedri was the one who was wide, actually receiving the ball, and Lamine Yamal was drawing this player closely. If we could just have a player that could run ahead over there. So the introduction of Frenkie de Jong just threw a spanner in the works, because I think Frenkie de Jong is going to have to start in these big games in order to keep the ball for ball retention as well. I think now that Frenkie de Jong is fully fit, I'm kind of scared for Casado, because Pedri has to start, because this guy is dropping into all sorts of position, holding up the play for Barcelona very nicely. And Olmo is going to have to play in the number 10 position. We know what Olmo can do. Rafinha can also play there, but Rafinha has to start on the wing, right? So what are we going to do with Casado? And you can see here, this was a common tactic throughout the second half, that one of the midfielders is going to the line, where Lamine Yamal is more centrally in that 10 position. And Pedri, like I said, Pedri is going to start, almost going to start. So maybe we're going to see Pedri and Frenkie de Jong in these bigger games. So what do you think? What should Flick do with that? The introduction of Dani Olmo was not only to receive the ball and still be how can I say, dangerous to Bayern Munich, but also to be defensively responsible, because you saw that Barcelona had the shape where Pedri joined up high, and depending on how you look at it, Barcelona had a very narrow 4-2-4 or 4-4-2. So this was great tactics from Mr. Hansi Flick. And when Barcelona would retain the ball as well, he would go into these areas where he could split the opposition open. And the fact that Pedri was also capable of helping Frenkie de Jong, it was just great tactics from Mr. Hansi Flick. So great tactics and great changes, the right changes at the right time as well for Barcelona. Somebody asked me in the comment section, what do I mean by a little bit of luck? Imagine if Bayern Munich, the space that Rafinha left him behind him, if Bayern actually scored some goals because of that, we would have had a much different conversation right now. And do you think that Pedri higher up the pitch is working? Because I don't feel like it does. He needs to be more deeper, in my opinion. Pedri is much better when he actually plays deeper. We have reached the end of the video, guys. I hope you guys understood everything we talked about. I know you guys asked for a lot of longer videos, but these were the main tactics in this game in the second half, right? Let me know, however, what do you think Bayern did differently and Barcelona did differently, right? I would love to hear what you guys think. As always, please do subscribe to the channel. It's going to help us a lot to get this family to grow bigger. We upload weekly Barcelona content only, and I know if you're Kule, you will love this channel. Thank you very much.